Hey guys, Tyler2K here. Today we're going to talk about the new patch that's coming out, the version 1.03.01. This is the second bug fix patch and very minor tweak patch that's coming out before EVO Japan, and also Eddie Gordo comes out today. So this is coinciding with the release of Eddie Gordo. Everyone's very Capoeira fighter there. But yeah, this is going to be quite a lot of bug fixes relative to the 1.02 patch. I'm not super familiar with all of them, so my expertise is going to be a little bit diminished here. Also, there are quite a few bug fixes, and the fact that this patch comes out, you can see in my clock, comes out in 2 hours means I got to do this fast-ish, and that way I can post it for you guys there. But yeah, if I do make a mistake, as usual, my apologies. I'm not super knowledgeable in T8 in its entirety quite yet. But I'll hopefully give a little bit of context to what is going on here. So we'll quickly go ahead and just talk about the general changes to the system. I haven't fully read the notes here, but there are quite a few really interesting ones. The first one being that low parry. Sometimes if you're playing a character with a down forward, you couldn't actually perform a low parry during your attack. So a good example would be like Kazuya, during his wave dash inputs. Back in Tekken 7, they made it such that during crouch dash animations, if your character had an explicit QCF, they would finally allow you to low parry, because for the most part, the game really considers movement as movement, and then adding the little options like low parry is something that's very much T7 and on. But yeah, back in the day, it used to be really penalized for crouch dashing and wave dashing in such and such. So the wave dash one probably is a bug specific to 8, because you could still do it in older games. But like crouch dashing, like I said, crouch dash parry, very much a brand new thing for Tekken 7, and it's also carried over. Beyond that, you see here performing options that cause tail spin states, or tornado spins, right? Got to talk about those, are changed now. So now if your character has a tornado spin that would normally break the wall, it's going to do that in the next patch, which is really important because it's in a similar situation to wall breaks. Certain characters, if you hit them on a weird frame, your tornado spin wouldn't actually break the walls and whatnot. Another great example is like Victor up forward 1-1. Up forward 1-1 does cause wall spot, does cause wall break, but during a mid combo, it doesn't actually work that way. So there are quite a few characters like that who have tornado spins that cannot be used for wall break situations, which is really unfortunate, and hopefully that does get fixed. Similarly, when you're performing tornado spin, sometimes your rage arts can also have weird cross-up situations where the animation just doesn't link. Rage arts by default typically kind of have like a 360 tracking to them, so they're fixing that, thank God, in this latest patch. Something similar happens with stage breaks. In the 1.0 patch, and actually before it, of course, for T8, certain characters like Lili could do like infinite clock to break the floors, and you kind of get stuck in these checkmate scenarios. Luckily, they're gone. And if you read here, what they mention is now for a gimmick to occur, the opponent has to be out of a down state. So unless you're fully standing, stage gimmicks will not work on you, period. So that means flinch options, delayed side rolls, stuff like that, will not actually cause gimmicks to occur. So that's a really good change. That was, like I said, Descent to Subconsciousness was like the worst culprit when it came to this. So thank God they're actually fixing that. Other than that, like rage arts occurring with weird timing, like weird little quirks like that. I mean, no way to reproduce that. Also, in case I don't have any good examples here, but on certain stages, if you're over by a wall, the walls kind of disappear. And let me go ahead and put him here. This, I don't believe, is one of the stages, but let's go ahead and put him in the wall positioning. But yeah, usually when you have a wall or any sort of obstruction, obviously when you go to it, you see the unobstructed view. Like the hip model is completely gone and it's kind of cold out of our vision. So there are a few stages, like especially the Mishima stage. I can't remember the name of it right now. Elegant Palace, I guess. Yeah, it gets really bad when you're by the wall, and rather than you see the wall disappearing, it's like covering your vision completely, which is not fun because typically if your vision's obstructed, you're on the bad end of the defense. So it's really, really rough. But yeah, they're now normalizing it. They're fixing it. T7 had a couple of little bugs like that too with destructible environments. I'm not going to be able to show it here realistically because yeah, we don't have any like major ground effect. But yeah, T7 clearly had a couple of those. I'm sure T8 will also have those, but overall the stages themselves were the problem in T8 for the obstruction. So thank God they're actually getting fixed. Okay, landing a down hit is being modified. Yeah, so this actually we saw this in the set and reset video. I'll do a top right, even though it's not officially out yet, that video for the European tournament. But certain times when you actually hit the opponent mid-air, it doesn't give you what should happen, and or it will just kind of forget what's going on. So like for instance, in the case of Lars, if you like, for instance, you hit the opponent airborne with forward 3+4 out of heat mode, which is this armored tackle. If you hit him airborne, the scaling gets reset and you get like a full launcher, which is kind of half intended, but it's now going to be better normalized, which is a good thing. Let's see here. Collision detection for opponents on certain moves. Dodge. Okay. So, Hwoarang 4-4-4-4, all high attacks. Like, these are all high strings. I guess maybe in weird some properties it would... No, this has a nerf, though. So, I guess when you get counter hit, maybe that would make the full string NC, and now they're normalizing it or fixing it. Like, King back 3, I believe, is a high. I believe all these are high, right? Leo down back 1-4, I imagine is a mid, but I don't know. So, yeah, I don't quite get that one. Okay, so Alisa during heat mode. So Alisa during heat mode, you already can sidestep it. But I guess there must be a bug where during the animation, let's go ahead and get him off the wall. During it, if you hit on the later frames, maybe sometimes the character would drop out and then like the rest of the hits wouldn't be NC. But beyond that, they're modifying it such that, you know, the evasion is good. So let's go ahead and put him on sidewalk. Set this. But yeah, either case, it doesn't track. So maybe they're just fixing weird situations where sometimes it also misses. But then also, you know, follow-up hits will not have a weird propensity to drop out anymore. So they call it an even change, so it's half nerf, half buff, but mostly a good thing. So 4-4-4 into like bonus damage 1. I don't understand that. To be honest, I'm not really an Alisa player. Okay, so there is a blue spark. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe the blue spark wasn't properly occurring. You know, first try, by the way. I've never done that. Tekken 8. So yeah, maybe automatically triggered during follow-up was not displayed correctly. Okay, so maybe you get, like, the animation for the blue spark is there, but it wouldn't actually give you the blue spark property. That's the only thing I can kind of think of. So that's why they're not calling it a buff. It's just a bug fix. Okay, so this one is a little bit interesting. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to reproduce this, but when you do the... let's see, how can I... yeah, it's going to be impossible for me to time it. But when you do this attack, for some reason in prior games, the arms were extended, but they, like, even though they look like projectiles, they're actually part of Lisa's hitbox. So you could, like, grab her, you can attack her. If you did a well-timed attack, like, you would launch her, and it was really crazy. And oh, crap, I hit a button. Okay, good. Yeah, my stick has, like, a turbo mode right next to the reset. I like the stick, shoutouts to Kwamba, but the turbo button is, like, in the worst spot ever. But yeah, during this, you could hit her, even though it's a projectile, it's a missile. Now it's going to be properly a missile, so that's a good change. Okay, destructive form 4-2-1-2. Fix issue where second hit landed as counter hit. We're not counting consecutive. Oh, interesting. So, yeah, that's a bug fix, and that's why also it's not mentioned. Okay, so that means no, because I'm pretty sure maybe I'm pretty sure the whole series of 4-2 off destroy properly is that, but maybe I don't know. Let's put him to guard all. Okay, that one's block all. Okay. Yeah, so maybe there's some weird bug if they're like off axis. Maybe the destroy 4-2 hits on a later frame or something like that. It's hard to say. But yeah, it's a bug fix. No, that says 15 though, right? Yeah, 15-15. Weird. So yeah, bug fix. I mean, to be honest, Destroy 4-2 is really good, so I'm not really happy. But okay, that's fine. But yeah, you can obviously hit confirm this entire series off of Destroy 4-2, and then it's a obviously what do you call it? Heat engager. So that means you can heat dash cancel this. You know, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's a really good attack. So now they're fixing it. Okay, I mean, it's annoying if it doesn't work out, but at the same time, I think it's only like minus 13 on block. Okay, Asuka 4-2. Adjusted collision when they're near the wall. Okay, so what they're probably talking about is, yeah, you can cause 4-2 to like cross over the opponent. And then I guess that was a bug. No need to show it. Asuka 4-2, the Tooth Fairy, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. Ground hitting mid, I-17, minus 17 or 18 on block. So yeah, it could cross over. Bear also has something like that. Let's see here. I'm curious if they show it, because that's something I discovered yesterday. But Bear HBS 1 charge 2 can also cross over the opponent. And yeah, it's not mentioned here, so shoutouts to Namco caring about bears. Okay, let's see here. Azucena. Okay. Yeah, so Azucena, obviously I'm not going to show this because we're on the old patch. But yeah, Azucena has a couple of really weird quirks. But the big one here is going to be the universal nerf, the running 3-2. If this video was coming out later, I would show you guys the clip where they showed on Tekken Talk. But yeah, check out Tekken Talk to see it. But one of the problems with running 3 is that it's active for like so many frames, right? And then also it allows you to get the full sequence in there, reduced by 3 frames. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on the old patch because I can watch my replays. But like yeah, you can do the running 3 from decently far away, and the full thing links. So let's see here. Let's go ahead, put him in. Yeah, this is kind of also a sanity check for me, just to make sure that I'm not actually. Okay, yeah, so we still have the full track in there. Basically, what's going to happen is instead of it fully landing and not like completely like inescapable option here, she's just going to teleport. She's just going to run, and she's just going to miss the running 3. So she's going to go like full distance, and you're not going to be able to get hit anymore. So that means the 2's not going to come out. And unfortunately, I mean, it's a nerf, but at the same time, like, look how far we are. Using that as an example, right? It's going to be very difficult to, like, track Azucena down and punish her for it. So unless you're by a wall, it's essentially like a free attempt for Azucena to go for now, rather than having, you know, esoteric sidestep into duck to properly punish her. Now it's just gone, right? Now it's just like, okay, she whiffs. You don't take chip damage, but her churn is up. But again, neutral's reset, so it's not like the worst thing in the world for her. So we'll see. My guess is running 3-2 will probably still get nerfed in the future, but I don't know. Okay, just the collision detection, swap position, making them block. Okay, so this is probably, I'm not going to be able to show it, but what they're probably talking about is you can, because she does a jumping attack, it can cause a crossover, essentially. So it could cross up, and even though you're sidestepping, you kind of like would get hit to the back. And of course, she's entering the leap, so we have access to leap options like down 4-4. But yeah, that's one of the things they are definitely modifying for like every character, is getting rid of the crossover. Like for instance, for Reina later on, we'll see same thing. They're getting rid of her crossovers, her cross-up attacks, which is good because not only are heat smashes like incredibly strong to begin with, right? But now it's like, oh shit. Now you take 1 billion damage when you guess wrong. So, okay, so that said full crouch 1+2. Actually, I have no idea what full crouch 1+2 is. Let's find out. Oh, tackle. Okay, so they're saying they're normalizing it. In case you don't know, when you're in full crouch, even though like visually you're crouching, you're not actually crouching. It takes you 6 seconds or 6 frames or 1/10 of a second to get into a crouching. So even though I duck, okay, not the best example, but like I'm ducking, right? So even though I'm ducking, I'm not actually ducking. So in order to get full crouch, you have to be holding for X amount of frames. Now it looks like Azucena's tackle And Victor's also might not require 6 frames. But I don't know. That looks like it does still require 6 frames. Okay, maybe it's just bugged. It's hard to say. Because, yeah, again, this is like normal tackle timing. So I don't understand that. But, yeah. Yeah, so if you do it too fast, you get a duck jab. And then if you hold it just an extra couple more frames, now we're in full crouch because it takes 6 seconds to enter into FC. Keep in mind, on defense, it only takes 1 frame to block. So mid-block into duck block is 1 frame. But to be like in FC such that we get like access to wall stand attacks, that takes 6 seconds to, or 6 frames, sorry, to occur. Okay, Bryan. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I like that. So they're fixing Bryan's hitboxes. Bryan notoriously, while he's like kind of still playing T7, he doesn't play T8 super well because a few of his things are really, really poor. But looks like they're finally fixing his heat smash, which is really good. So heat smash and QCF 2-4. Okay, interesting. I don't know what situation with Bryan where QCF 2-4 wouldn't hit. Every single situation where I've done it, it hits. So I don't know. Maybe there's some weird fringe case. Apart from that, like I mentioned, they're fixing the heat smash. So even though it's like a mid-mid, it kind of really acts as like a high or a really low high because of its hitbox. It doesn't have the best hitbox, and you can kind of cause crossover. So you kind of saw in that situation, I'm right outside of range, and then we can cause the follow-up dunk, the miss too. So that's interesting. And then up forward 3+4 is basically the same thing as CD2-4. It's just a command version of the same attack. So I guess in certain situations, you know, it doesn't work properly. I don't know. So again, I'm not the expert here on this case. Okay, during combos at the wall, extremely close range, reduce forward movement. Blown away in the opposite direction. Okay, interesting. I haven't seen this situation personally. But basically, same thing in case you don't know. With Bryan, when you get him to the wall. Oopsies. So we'll do the normal route. So, sorry. Let me do it simpler. So 1+2, 1. Oh, whoops. You can't hold back because otherwise you get the stance. And then, you know, full series. And you can actually mash it out. It's always going to give you the input in case you don't know how to do it either. Yeah, you can just keep doing it. You can mash 3 with OS. Of course, this is launch, punish, one block. So you want to be careful with that. But still, you can just like mash the input. And it's always going to give you the correct one. It's a nice thing. Luckily, a few things, option selects carried over into Tekken 8 here, so. But yeah, I guess it would cause, it can also cause cross-up, but at the same time, I guess it could cause the opponent to get to your back, maybe mid-combo if they're in low slump already. I don't know. This sounds like a bug fix, but same thing. I played a decent amount of Bryan. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, punch parry. Just the behavior of both characters when parrying right punch. Making it, okay. So yeah, his punch parry is pretty straightforward. I guess there's a problem where I guess the follow-up attack can miss, which does make sense because he does a special animation during punch parry. So yeah, because the mock breaker is essentially high, right? Shit, I want him to block it. Yeah. He's on a get hit. Yeah, because it's a high, it could cause things to drop out. And this isn't talking specifically about like Snake Charmer with Steve either. No, it's just weird axi problems. This game especially has problems with highs. Bryan still has the Raven bug where his jabs kind of miss against Raven. We see Kazuya, we'll talk about it later. Kazuya jabs are also bugged in this game. So yeah, they're fixing the highs to not random, phantom whiff anymore, which is a really good change because there's nothing worse than going for a parry, especially in this game where you can be thrown for free and, launched and all that stuff. So there is some major risk with parrying now. In older games, Sabaki was like the more risky version, but highly beneficial, and parries were the safe route. But yeah, in this game, no, not anymore. Okay, it looks like wall stand 2. I guess in a... Oops. I guess Wall Stand 2 had some problems with it, where it would get stuck in an animation or something like that, but only during a KO, so... Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where that would occur. Okay, so I guess you just hit them and then do it after KO. Maybe it was like frozen for like a couple seconds. Clear bug, that's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and look at Claudio. Claudio, 4-3 plus 4. Fixed issue were certain inputs unintended. Okay. So this, I won't be able to give you an example. 4-3 plus 4 is this high option. High knockdown. In this game, I think it actually is a launcher too. Maybe, if I remember correctly, maybe it's like 4-3 plus 4 down back 1 plus 2. Yeah, that's the option here. But yeah, I guess in certain situations, like you'd hit the input, or maybe it would give you like 4-3 or 4-4, and maybe during some guard stuns, the input wouldn't actually come out. It's hard to say. Dragunov has had a similar bug for a while that's also certainly not going to be fixed. But maybe in certain situations, the 4-3 plus 4 wouldn't actually occur. You get the wrong input, like I said. Or maybe you're trying to do like a 3 plus 4, but then it gives you 4-3 plus 4 instead, which is like the opposite, right? A jumping attack versus a high standing attack, and obviously you're going to get blown up. So it's possible one of those two. Okay, Starburst running 1 plus 2. Fixed ability to start moving after being cornered. Ooh, interesting. So they're talking about wall crush. So running 2 doesn't wall crush anymore, so maybe they're fixing that. Maybe that might have been an oversight. When blocked is now, oh, +8 always. Okay, and also the collision detection is worse now. Or worse for Claudio. So that means it's easier to punish. So basically it now sounds like it's always going to be a clean +5. So let's go ahead and test that really fast, because I'm curious. Oh shit, I can't get Starburst. How do I get Starburst? Okay, I guess I can just do heat mode, can't I? Oops. +8. Oh, look at that. That's what it is. Shit, my turbo's hit. God dang it, dude. Okay, God, I hate the turbo button. Okay, so I guess it gives you the wall crush animation, but it actually is only +3. So yeah, that's clearly a bug. Wow. That makes sense. You know, holy crap. Instance where the opponent got hit at the wall. Okay, yeah, this is... Yeah, it's weird. So Claudio has this weird thing where if you hit them during combo, like you get tornado spin, stuff like that, right? So, okay, we get tornado spin. But the problem is, like, if you do follow-up hits, it's weird. It's like a Claudio-only problem. They, like, get this weird flop state. So let's go ahead and push him to the wall and see if I can do this first try. But yeah, sometimes the opponent would, like, fly around the screen, and it was clearly unintended. Something very similar happens with down 1-2, which is probably what they're thinking of. Okay, we can't see it there, but yeah, take my word for it. Some weird stuff happens where the opponent starts like floating around, and it makes no sense. So it looks like they're fixing it, which is a good thing. Misaligned at the wall. Also, can I shout out Namco for why is wall stand 1-2 and down 1-2 hit grounded? Can you not have that in the game ever again, please, Namco? But yeah, that would fuck up. So yeah, size of the hitbox varied if they had Starburst. Oh, interesting. So I guess maybe it's just more consistent now. +4, I4, 28. Let's take a look. It's probably the same frame data. Interesting. Okay, Devil Jin, of course, Heaven's Gate is getting nerfed. So I was wondering when they had showed off the patch, like in the Tekken talk, I was like, oh, are they going to make it such that every single unscaled hit is, you know, doing less damage? And no, actually, it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like they specifically went out of their way to nerf Devil Jin, which is a little bit weird. I mean, I'm not really a fan of just nerfing Devil Jin because, like, a lot of characters get, like, crazy unscaled. But Ah, sorry. I'm a 2P Mishima. I'll be honest. I'm gonna put him on the other side. My execution is bad on 1P. Ah! Okay, one more time. Oh my god. Dang it, one more time, one more time. If I don't get it next time, just take my word for it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You know, to be honest, it didn't look like it did that much less damage in the nerf version. It might be like a few more points at the end, which of course is the unskilled portion of it, but I don't know. It's a nerf. It's a nerf that he probably needed, but at the same time, I don't know. Okay, so Crow 2-1. I guess maybe Crow 2-1 can cause cross-up. Maybe that's what it is? Okay, yeah, it must be some sort of fringe situation with Crow 2-1. This is his heat engager, of course. But yeah, maybe it has some weird, like, crossover, cross-up sort of situation like that. I'm not going to be able to know it off top. Okay, adjusted the tracking of the move, so the second attack is less likely to connect. So this doesn't really make too much sense. We'll have to see it in action. But I'm sure by now you guys know how, like, oppressive Crow, like, not Crow, but, like, the Heat Smash is, right? So the Heat Smash, obviously, is like torpedo, super long range. I mean, holy shit. You're not allowed to duck because at close range, of course. Okay, we have this Hell Sweep mix-up on 16, but then we also have an 18, so you can't fuzzy it with 2-frame window. You can make an argument for, like, 4-frame window fuzzing, but no. Not on a 2-frame. It's impossible. But the move itself, like, already has, like, super god tracking, so if they're saying they're nerfing it so the tracking is worse on the second hit, but, like, it's the first hit that's the problem, right? I don't understand it. I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but yeah, this thing fully tracks. So who cares the second hit tracking or not when the first hit is the problem? So that's they said a nerf, right? It's a nerf, but maybe they're mistaken. Maybe they just mean the first attack. But yeah, first attack is evaded because, like, look at how, like, this. I'm what, like, range 4, range like 4.5. It still hits. Like, what? And we're plus 11 into Crow. I mean, I don't know, man. I think either something got mistranslated there or something to that effect, because that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what? Okay, Dragunov. Orem +2. Okay. Yeah, I can't give you an example, but same thing like we talked about before. 3+4 with audio. I guess Orem +2 has a bug where it doesn't come out properly. And then Switchblade, down 4-1, might come out incorrectly. I can't think of the example off the top of my head, but just a general fix, which is a good thing. Okay, down 4-4 is spicy. So down 4-4, in case you don't know, is his straight kick, his standing kick, I-12, -8 on block, if I remember correctly. But he actually has something really funky. And against certain power crushes, he can actually option select the power crush by you just mashing a 12-frame mid, which is great because, like, you beat literally everything the opponent wants to anyway. So let's go ahead. This one, like, I know enough about. So we'll go HMS 3, right? So usually, if we get hit, we try to hit, we get hit. Okay, right? I'm trying to block, I can't block. But if we do down 4-4, we're hella far away. Yeah. So, I mean, right? Hella good. So yeah, I mean, clearly that was bugged. Like, it's nice to have, like, a counter heat smash, or sorry, counter power crush tool, but still, it's a little overtuned. So of course they're gonna nerf that. Okay, up forward 1+2, his throw, everyone's favorite, is essentially bugged in this game because back 4 is guaranteed. Can't escape back 4 because back 4 actually hits grounded as well. So regardless of what you do, the back 4 option selects. There's a few characters who can kind of squirm their way out of it, but for the most part, you're doing like 45 damage into an unscaled follow-up hit. So like, look how much damage Lee took off a 1+2 throw. So yeah, they're making the recovery speed worse, which is not something unheard of Because in prior games in T7 Season 2, down 4 was guaranteed. So down 4 does significantly less damage than back 4, but still, the idea is the same, right? Now, of course, in this game, down 4 can be blocked because it's 15, so you can block it. It's also minus 15 on block, so it's very risky to go for, but it doesn't matter because you have an unskilled back 4. Why would you ever do anything other than back 4? So, of course, they had to nerf it. Time with low opponent attack, accepted the input reception. Okay, so I guess they're making this as a bigger window. Yeah, maybe they're just making a bigger window on the reversal. There's not really anything the phone hone about here. Because, yeah, it's just a throw. Basically, there's no, like, Asuka reversal status. The nice thing with it is that he recovers really fast during it. So, like, you can use it for 50-50, force 50-50, stuff like that. So that's the nice part about it, especially now that he has a full crouch game. That really helps out tremendously. Okay, Feng down back 3. I'm not going to be able to show it, but certain times, like, you can just go, like, okay, I actually could probably really show this against Dragunov. But pretty straightforward. They're nerfing it and they're buffing it. To be honest, I mean, Feng down back 3 needs more of a nerf than a buff. But they're making it such that it will consistently hit. Like, for instance, against Jack, and you know what? I'll just show that next. But first things first, let's go ahead. Let's put Feng into attack mode. We'll have him just do down back 3 to reverse. And then we'll go for a simple up forward 4 afterwards. Okay, let's go ahead and hit him. Okay, I can't believe we hit him there. But yeah, in older games, like, for instance, up forward 4 would completely miss the down back 3. So, yeah, I guess certain characters have it worse. That's not a great example because we get crossover, right? But one example on the other direction, you know, if we're playing here as Jack, any character with, like, receded legs or really bigger upper body with messing up the hitbox makes it such that we can just simply, like, backdash. So, same thing. I don't play either of these characters. This is just from what I've seen online. Let's go ahead and see if we can reproduce this. Okay. Yeah, basically, like, against Jack in certain situations, yeah, you backdash and, like, it would just phantom whiff right in his face. So in that situation, I don't know the setup, but yeah, you just, okay, there you go. I didn't do anything. It just still just missed me. So that's exactly what happens. It just misses. And, you know, you might argue for the case of him, okay, I have to do something launch punishable, so why am I taking all this risk and not getting any benefit, right? Okay, so that makes sense. So it needed that buff to, because certain characters like Jack and Bears and stuff like that, weird hitbox interactions, but at the same time, they've, like, always had this, so, you know, what can you do? Okay, who do we got next? Hwoarang. Opponents. Okay, interesting. I'm not going to reproduce that, but I guess Heat Smash can miss against people in FC. I'll give it one shot. I won't know if I'll be able to reproduce this, though. But I guess it just misses, so let's go ahead. We'll have Feng go for down back 4, or down back 3, my apologies. And then we'll go for, like I said, I don't know, we'll just try Heat Smash and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look that bad. Yeah, there must be some sort of fringe case, but I mean, if we're hitting them even, like, after backdash, I don't think it's a problem. Okay. Free slide 4. Enhance the tracking ability on second hit when it okay, so I guess there must be some situation. Wow, he has a blue spark version? Okay. Yeah, there must be a situation where the first hits but the second misses. And in case you don't know, for a lot of situations like that, if you are in mid-string, so even though you're only -3, right? Okay, so that's not the best example. Let's go ahead and put him on sidestep. But basically, you can, same thing, you can argue that you're taking a lot of risk, and the opponent, even though you made the right read, Yeah, this is not gonna happen. Yeah, this for some reason the second will miss, and then you take a lot more risk. But there, the second hit was only -3. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's happened before. I've seen moves like that. And like I said, if this first hits or gets blocked and the second misses, usually you're like super launch punishable. You're like -27 at least kind of stuff. I know Raven, for instance, has that. His QCF 1+2. Sometimes the second hit misses. So let's see if Raven has that. But I have a feeling he's not going to. So okay, during right stance. So yeah, this move... I don't know the situation, but you can plink this input. And when you plink it, you can grab cancel it right away. So what happens is you like go through armor, you hit them, you cancel, and then go for command grab right away. So there you go. Yeah, you can plink the input in case you don't know that. And what happens is, yeah, you beat power crushes, you beat options, and because this is a command throw, essentially, they have to break it still. So they have to take incoming, and then you option select whatever they do. And again, when you already have a good option select against Power Crush, like down 4-4, I mean, right, do you really need a broken OS2? Probably not. Okay, so it looks like Jack changes. I'm not the premier expert on Jack. Okay, so down forward 2-1. Okay, they're fixing down forward 2-1, which makes sense. So when he goes for the option... You see how he takes like a little bit of like a duck and a step in? Yeah, sometimes you could like whiff on this punishment. So even though you're -14 into a 21, essentially, yeah, certain punishes would completely miss. I don't know what character we'd have an example with, but it makes sense that they're fixing that. Expanded hurt box for a counterattack after the attack ends. Interesting. Okay, so this is normally -10. -11. Okay, maybe there's some weird fringe case where down forward 1-1. Oh, sorry. Whoops. I'm done. That's not down forward 1. That's down forward 2-1. So yeah, again, yeah, this has weird hitbox interactions. So of course, that had to get nerfed. Okay, wall crouch. 1+2. Ah, interesting. So yeah, because like I said, if we don't hold it right for 6 seconds, we get the down 1+2 instead. Interesting. And I can't do it mid-buffer, too. In this game especially, there's some weird buffer system. Certain characters, like Bear, can instantly enter into full crouch and gain access to it, but even on block, we're not able to get into FC instantly. Like, Yoshi, I know, can do that, too. Gamma Howl 4. Attack duration reduced by 1 frame. What the hell I do Gamma Howl? I have no idea. Okay. Oh, okay. So they're nerfing it. Attack duration reduced. So it's going to be active from 14 to 18, which is good because, like, it's active for 5 frames. You could easily stand up into the high. So that makes sense. Anomalies occurred in the animation later part of the duration. Oh, I guess maybe if you're at tip range, something happens. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get tip range. Yeah, I don't know. Crouching opponent. Okay, cool. I didn't know about that either. So you can now input it as down back 1+3. So that way you don't have to get a clean down input. Oh, and then he has body splash, of course. Okay. I like that. I haven't experimented with Dragunovs, though, so I don't know if he even has that. Okay, Jin. Eat mode. Reduce distance after first hit. Okay, I guess there must be some fringe situation where that misses. So maybe if you're at tip range or something. Because the second hit is a high. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's off of sidestep. Okay, so they're fixing it so it's more consistent. That's fine. Okay, same thing. Forward 2. I guess you could possibly get the wrong input when you want that. Maybe forward 2 would be like worst case scenario. Oh, he doesn't have the old forward 2 anymore, though, so... Okay, whatever. Back 2. Hitbox has been expanded. Oh, nice. So they're finally fixing back 2. So, like, that happens. he's had this for, like, 20 years. Okay, so they're finally making it so back 2 can be used in combos? Wow, incredible. What a change. Finally. That was like one of the most frustrating parts of playing Jin. You're like, I'm going to do a back 2-1 combo. Oh, I've seen this guy do back 2 once. How can his link? And then you do it. You get fucked. Okay, that's good. Back 4-2. Issue can be performed after heat. Oh, interesting. Huh. I don't know. Maybe at the wall? Maybe during wall crush? Let's go ahead and put him at the wall. This is just speculating. I don't know. I don't know. That was pretty easy. Maybe there's some weird timing thing on it, but that sounds like a Jin thing, not really a other thing. Okay, damage has been changed on wall stand 1-2. Interesting. So the only thing I can think of is I don't know how to do it, but yeah, Jin does have a new wall stand punisher. Yeah, that thing is fully like NC. Yeah, I don't know what the input is. So, damn it. Yeah, the whole thing is NC, so I guess maybe they're indirectly nerfing it by making wall stand 1 do less damage on the first hit. So they're making wall stand 1-2 stronger, which can transition into CDS. So they're making that stronger by making the other move like worse. That's the only thing I can kind of think of. So it's a buff, but it's actually a nerf to his really strong I-13 in this game. Okay, Jun. Yeah, Jun is in a similar boat to Devil Jin. It's like they're saying they're fixing the heat smash, but not really, because again, the second hit of her heat smash is not what makes her strong. It's really the first hit. So, what are they saying here? Issue. Okay, so they're saying, oh, she's double dipping on recovered health. Oh, but no, the tracking is what I'm talking about. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But, yeah, kind of take my word for it, I suppose. But yeah, in case you don't know, her second hit fully tracks on Heat Smash. Yeah, it fully tracks, so we catch him there. And same thing, we're going to put him into the blender again. It fully tracks, so yeah, thank God they're finally fixing it. So you can technically step the first hit, but because of how fast the second hit comes out afterwards, like, you have to step and then launch him, like, instantly. You can't even think about it. Launch instantly. There's no time to think, you just have to do it. And then, obviously, yeah, once she's rotted down... Oh, shit, yeah, I forgot. You don't lose health in heat mode. Okay, yeah, the fact that she can, like, double dip on her health regen, it makes sense that they had to nerf it. So that's good, that's good. 3+4, activated. Okay, so it looks like against a grounded opponent, 3+4 has a worse hitbox, or maybe you can't do the 3+4 follow-up hit. I don't know if it's 2. Yeah, so it looks like maybe they're getting rid of the 2 part of 3+4. Okay, something similar to Asuka. I guess 4-2 when you're by the wall has maybe a probability of dropping or something. So yeah, 4-2, I guess maybe some weird cross-up situations. But yeah, they're fixing that. So that's good. Full crouch down forward 1. Ah. Okay, so they're saying has been adjusted to match standing block. Wow. Okay, let him stop. Interesting. So I guess because it's an S slow, so obviously you can low parry it if it's an S slow, right? But maybe during... maybe they're making it jail. I don't know, to be honest. They're clearly doing something to it, but it's not a nerf, so it wouldn't jail now. It's probably just maybe whatever state you're in when you block the incoming S-low will now properly leave you in said state. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. No real way to kind of show you Kazuya because I don't know the examples off the top of my head. But yeah, Kazuya's flash punch is actually broken. So broken in a sense like it will have a propensity to kind of whiff right in your opponent's face, which is unfortunate. So that's obviously not a good example because he stepped it right. But for some reason, like during punishes, it's either the hitbox is really high or something to that effect. But yeah, you can't properly punish and it just phantom whiffs. And then of course, the 1-1-2 is minus 17 on block, so you're taking a big risk. You're like, oh, I got a Punisher, and all of a sudden they block it, and all of a sudden you're dead. So yeah, of course they had to fix that, so that's good. Same thing, Devil Form 1-1-2 is broken. Okay, looks like they're fixing same thing like Devil Jin. They're fixing Heaven's Wrath unscaled, so that's good. Oh no, they're fixing it such that okay. Yeah, so they're fixing the part of it. They're not fixing the unscaled at the end. But like for instance, if you get the opponent to the wall and then you do the Heaven's Wrath Ender or Heaven's Gate Ender, you would get unscaled hit. So yeah, obviously you can't perform it outside of heat dash, like cancel, right, because you lose your heat mode, but still. King. Okay, fix an issue where stage gimmicks did not activate correctly when follow attack after the follow-up hit missed? Okay, what's the follow-up attack look like then? Oh, okay. So he would essentially perform like back 4 or back 3, and I guess it wouldn't break the white wall. So that's a fix, but at the same time, you really need to buff King's Heat Smash? Really? That kind of seems like overkill, doesn't it? Dynamic 4 or JGS 4. Corrected state, crouching to midair. Punish received after block was different than intended. Okay, maybe... Is he left in... No, he's left in grounded now, right? Okay, so maybe I guess you could hit him on the way down and he's fully standing. Something like that. Hard to say. A King Delmec 1+2/2. Adjust the transition to throw even off axis. Oh, okay. So I guess maybe if you're to their side or something, it wouldn't transition to a throw, which makes sense. Because right, you are taking a decent amount of risk. Okay, there you go. So rather than the attack throw, which gives us a heat engager effect, right? I guess if you're to their side, you would kind of get, well, I guess JGR2 is not the best example, but you get an effect similar to JGR2. But okay, that makes sense. Because I can understand that would be frustrating. So that's a good change. I wouldn't call this a buff. I'd call it a fix. Okay, JGR. So they call it Jaguar Sprint, but the common term for Jaguar Step, back 3+4, this is called JGS. So the fact that they call this JG Sprint is stupid. It should be JGR, Jaguar Run. Which is funny, right? Because JGR Jaguar. So, I mean, whatever. Humor is lost on them, so... Okay, JGR3. Expanded hitbox. Where it would whiff. Okay, so I guess maybe because he's kind of like doing a Sabat midair, that you couldn't hit him, and now you probably can. Although, 4-4 already low crushes, so they're clearly not talking about low crush options, but maybe they are. Hard to say. Muscle Buster... Making this easier to execute? Did anyone have problems performing Muscle Buster though? Okay, I don't understand that, but you do you, Namco. Okay, King. When the opponent's on the back by the opponent's feet, fix the issue, not possible. Okay, so they're talking about... Whoopsies. That was what, down back? 1+3? Okay. Yeah. Oh, whoops, my bad. Yeah, in case you don't know, you gotta, like, hold that shit. Yeah, same thing. If you never played King before, you have to hold it. Hold the input. Yeah, so he would do that. And in Tekken 7, in older games, that would break the floor, right? But in this game, I guess it doesn't properly break the floor. So that's good they're fixing it. Because he's always had that. That's like not even new. Approach airborne during double heel hold. Launch distance and aerial combos. Wait, what? I don't understand. What are they changing? Damage and scaling correction values. Okay, so maybe this deals unscaled damage? Okay, I don't understand. Sure. Okay. Kuma and Panda. Okay, so they're fixing the heat smash. That's good.
Get ready for the next battle.
Inconsistency when performed. Okay, so that's Panda change. Opponent is less likely to shift. Okay, so yeah, so when he does the swipe, he does like the big overhead, but there are certain situations where the opponent is in like a grounded state and you couldn't actually hit them. Let's see if I can get the situation going. Yeah, so during that state, like they can tech roll, which is probably not a bug, but maybe they're talking about some sort of weird thing. Yeah, maybe he would cross over and miss. Like I said, something similar happens, and I'll show you guys this bug, when you're in HBS and it's slightly off axis. Okay, she's getting hit. Maybe more. Okay, yeah, but if you notice, like, his animation when he's doing it, he's swiping down, but you actually, like, swipe over the opponent. I don't have the match. I'm not going to edit this video, so I'm not going to, you know, pull up the match footage for you guys. But yeah, it just completely misses, and like he swipes over the target, and it's like really, really weird. Uh-oh, Panda.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay, interesting. They're fixing Pandas. That's pretty good. So Panda's a little bit more interesting than Kuma because Panda has access to a couple different things. So she doesn't have the electric, but she has Shooting Star. I guess Shooting Star they're fixing. So the up forward 3+4 in heat mode. They're fixing it such that I guess Panda will always be at plus frames rather than negative, which is good. And then similarly, they're fixing Panda's HBS version. And what are they doing? Inconsistency of the attack when done. Okay, so I guess maybe out of HBS, the Heat Smash has maybe a weirder hitbox on it. I-15. Yeah, maybe there's some weird interaction out of stance that is not out of standing. That's the only kind of thing I can think about. Fix an issue or number of attacks increased. Extending the rotation. Okay, so I guess there's a bug if you hold the input. Yeah, there is a funny situation. I saw it on Joe Crush's Twitter page. But like, yeah, if you're during an armored like power crush, because when you're power crushing, the opponent is essentially whiffing. And so technically when you hit the opponent, you only get X amount of hits. But if you initiate your roll really far away, like you get the roll not infinitely in this game, but for a long time. But because during the power crush, it counts the opponent as whiffing. Like I said, let me go ahead and kind of try to show you this. I'm not gonna be able to show it, shit. But basically, you're still spinning the entire distance through your opponent, and that clearly was a bug. So they're fixing it because yeah, you can basically one-touch kill someone if you hit them during a power crush state with the unblockable. And I'm sorry, I don't mean the unblockable because you can't power crush unblockables, right? But I'm talking about the follow-up hit to the unblockable, specifically the rolling state. You would armor through and you're doing a shit ton of unscaled. Like for instance, you saw the damage there, a ton of damage for free. Now multiply it by like 2 during armored state. So, okay, standardized controls while crouching. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so I guess it would option select the wrong input. And instead of dropping to HBS. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Lars. So, kind of similar to, I guess, King. So, during heat and limited entry. Okay, so I guess if you hit the opponent to their side, yeah, okay, it doesn't transition to attack throw. So bug fix, that's good. Again, I wouldn't necessarily call this like a buff. I think this is just a fix. Because right, you can only gain access to that attack throw out of heat mode anyway. So DE3. Oh yeah, I don't like this change. So dynamic entry 3, everyone's favorite new move, the jumping attack, yeah, is only +3. But if you look at the frame data, right, we're +3, and our fastest attack out of SE is 1, so 12. So that's 1 frame window. That means the opponent can mash Power Crush, they can mash Rage Arts. So you might think to yourself, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do DE2, right, and I'm going to beat Power Crush by definition. Well, yes, but if they do a Rage Art, you can't beat him by definition. So, yeah, you're taking a lot of risk, and yeah, you're stuck in Silent Entry, and Silent Entry cannot be canceled. So you can cancel SE into Ellie, right? But then still, you're adding frames, and Dynamic Entry is the one you can cancel instantly. But SE, you can't. You have to hit a button. So that's a major buff. Like, that's crazy. That's almost as crazy as like giving JGR run to allowing King to cancel the run, which is really fucking stupid in my opinion. So big change.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay, ESS. Yeah, I guess kind of similar. You would get the wrong input during forward 3+4, so it looks like any sort of forward in plus directional has a bug in it in a lot of the moves, so that must be what they're changing. So up forward 4-3. Behavior on a down hit has been changed. Oh, okay, so they're talking about like unscaled hits. So I guess I guess if you hit the opponent during a grounded state, it would cause a steel pedal effect. That's what I have to assume. The only problem, like in this game, is we can't actually test grounded states unless we set the bot to like fall to the ground specifically. Because yeah, for some reason, not set doesn't actually work in this game. So we're not going to be able to properly test it, but it looks like double flippy causes steel pedal when they're on the floor. So that's not great. Whoops. Got to hold the input. That's not the best example. Okay, so something like that. Oh, whoops. I need one more hit in here. Okay, so it missed there, but maybe it hits flinch or something like that. Or maybe he was just tech roll invulnerability. It's hard to say. Like I said, oh yeah, you know what? Let's put him to set. Not set. Okay, I don't know. Okay, and we're back. The new patch is out, but the game is still not playable, so I have decided to kill the connection and finish up the list here. So we got DSS forward 2, issue where he performed unattendedly. So DSS forward 2, I think, is just the straight punch. It's essentially a canceled forward 2 off DSS. Otherwise, DS2, the big overhead counter hit launcher, of course. But yeah, there must be some sort of situation where DSS forward 2 doesn't get canceled or maybe comes out inadvertently. It's kind of hard to say. It would be kind of a fringe case, but I can't see how not getting a fast, kind of high check might kind of get you messed up there. So it makes sense. Okay, so Lee Heat mode. Okay, so basically the damage has been reduced. In case you don't know, off of Heat mode, whenever you're playing Lee, you have access to all just frame attacks, and it just costs you meter to do it, so there's no executional requirements. But if you have the heat slide, I guess it does bonus damage when it's unintended to do bonus damage. So in order to get the just frame, like you actually have to do the proper just frame now to get bonus damage. So they normalized it, so while you get the faster execution on the slide, you don't get the JF itself. And I don't know if the JF is on the exact same frame, kind of like an electric, or what there. So yeah, they're getting rid of that, so that makes sense. Okay, HMS up forward 4, or up 4, all the same attack, so it's now worse. In case you don't know, with Lee, you can kind of do a couple of loops in a row, and let me try this. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this first try, so bear with me. Well, first of all, we need heat mode. So let's go ahead and launch them. Okay, so I messed up the timing there. Do it one more time. Okay, so basically, there's a way to splat the opponent, and then it allows for down forward 4-4 to be guaranteed on follow-up. Whoops. And I don't know what the combo is, so we'll do something like that. Okay, I don't know. Follow-up at the end, not the best, but you know, can probably 4-2-1 or 4-4-3 afterwards. But it sounds like they're finally getting rid of that, which is good because, yeah, on certain stages you can keep doing like up forward 4 reps off of HMS, and then you get resplat, and you get a follow-up, and so on and so forth. So it was really, really strong to have it guaranteed. Now, there is a little skill involved, don't get me wrong. You can probably tell right away. But you need to hit them right as they hit the ground such that they get bounced up. So kind of similar to Leroy, Hermit forward 4, Bears down forward 1-2, delay 1+2. Although this one takes a little bit more skill, but at the same time, the damage potential is like so tremendous off of HMS up forward 4. It made sense they had to get rid of it. So I don't blame them. That on certain stages, like the what's it, something Palace, the you know, the Mishima stage, like you can do a ton of combos and a ton of hits unskilled in a row and then break the wall, and it was a little bit too strong, so it explained that they had to get rid of it. Okay, so it looks like Fobu 1+2, so I assume that's BOK, because that's the armor, because K&K doesn't have armor off of 1+2. So let's go ahead. So it sounds like if you armor them currently, armor through the attack, they can't actually hit you. Or sorry, they can hit you, but they can't actually get wall splatted. So let's give this a shot. Keep in mind, it's like first time testing this. So let's do forward 3, BOK 1+2. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it doesn't wall splat. Interesting. So they're fixing that. So if we do this raw, it does wall splat though. Whoa, okay. I didn't know about that. I guess maybe there's not too many Leo players, so it's not something you typically hear about. Okay, so I assume this is K&K. Big issue where despite animation being successful parry, the heat... Oh, weird. So I guess if you do K&K 4 and they low parry, it doesn't... It eats your meter? Even though you're getting comboed? Okay, so that's not... I wouldn't really call that a buff. I'd call that a fix. During a successful parry, unless that's a different input. Maybe it's like the parry 4 or something like that. Let's put him on block. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's parry 4. Okay, there's clearly something I'm missing. I know she has something like that. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to find that. And it's probably not K&K 4 they're talking about, so... Yeah, there's no way it's probably K&K 4. So it's probably maybe one of her Sabakis or something like that. Maybe forward 2, 4? Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. Okay, so Leroy. Opponent's facing direction block has been adjusted to face forward. It addresses situations where, depending on conditions and angles, can maneuver to the back, making the second hit unblockable. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know where they would be talking about specifically. So maybe there was some weird cross-up situation. Probably same thing, by the wall. You get it to their back. Okay, modified to be unblockable. Okay, yeah, so this was a bug with Leroy that thank God they're fixing, because like Leroy already has like enough problems in this game, to be honest. But when it comes to Leroy's Heat Smash, it doesn't actually have the proper properties on it. So let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking what would be a good example? Maybe down 3-2? Or no, sorry, it would be like a grab. They can probably grab. Let's see. That's a long animation. Holy crap. Okay, let's give this a shot. So I'm going to put myself in heat mode. Okay, so that's not the best example, but basically when you enter into hermit mode, or hermit, so from out of standing, this has all the proper properties, armor, beats, throws and stuff like that. But as soon as he's in hermit mode, even though he has, the same animation, it doesn't actually have the proper properties of the, armor. So yeah, that was an issue, because unfortunately, a lot of times, kind of similar, so with one of the problems with Leroy is like everything he can do is like +3 into hermit. So you get into these checkmark situations or checkmate situations where, unlike down 3-2, which leaves us at +8, these are all +3. And if you make the read and go for the Heat Smash, which I think is 16, 15, yeah, they can just straight up beat you with a throw. Or sorry, they could beat you with a Power Crush. Actually, that's what we can do. Let's go ahead and have him mash, Power Crush. So 4-2, I think, is still his Power Crush. Okay. So I'll do +3. Oh shit, he's gonna. Okay, let's back up a little bit and put him into standing so he gets hit. Yeah, see, so the Power Crush just cleanly beats when, obviously, by definition, Heat Smash should beat Power Crushes. So that's a good change. That's a fix that he has needed for a while. And same thing, I wouldn't call this a buff. This is definitely a fix. Like, they fixed it. Same thing with down forward 1. So they're saying down forward 1 when it hits from the side, continue its attacks. So I guess because they're all highs, technically, if you're on a weird axis, the follow-up hits might drop out. Or there you go. So is that straight on NC? But kind of similar to the other ones we had seen earlier. Okay, so it is NC. Okay, so yeah, it's probably some weird hitbox interaction where they're getting hit when they shouldn't. Well, they're escaping when they shouldn't be able to. So that's good.
Get ready for the next battle.
Alleviates issue when the opponent becomes different than intended when used near the wall. Okay, this might be another sort of cross-up situation. So let's see. Okay, what I think it is, I think this is another one. Although it's not cross-up in the sense they... Oh, well, actually, maybe there. That was actually a good example. He couldn't block that. Oh, okay. Okay, maybe that's what they're talking about. I thought it was, there's this weird situation where she enters into BT right after the attack, but she's off axis to your side. So I thought that's what they were talking about, so then the follow-ups are guaranteed. It's weird that they never, like, fixed that problem, even though that was clearly a problem in T7. And it's almost like they're spaghetti coding fixing that issue. So, I don't know, that's kind of weird. Oh, Nina has nothing. Interesting. Panda, very seen. I assume this is Paul. Okay. Paul, back to... Okay, nice. Back to is obviously kind of a low-hitting attack. I guess against certain characters, this is probably not going to guarantee hits, like maybe Zafina. But more interesting, though, back 3, now a lower hitbox. So presumably back 3 is still going to be a high, but it's now going to probably not consistently whiff on certain weird axes. So that's always been a problem with T7, Paul. You have this like really strong 14-frame launcher, but if you're like slightly off axis and they're doing something, sometimes it'll just go right over their head. So that's probably what they're fixing. So that's a nice change. Okay, we probably don't have to show Raven because I talked about it earlier. But, yeah, for some reason, against Bryan, and this isn't half a Bryan problem, half a Raven problem, but even though you're plus frames with Bryan, and what we'll do, I think it's like 1-4 at +4 into, we'll take our frames. Raven can just mash out jab. So, oh, oopsie. Okay, I need to do 1-2-1 to like really sell it, to make you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so right, we're +4 or whatever into our option. Okay, maybe it isn't off of that. Maybe it's 1-2. But basically what happens is Raven can still mash through. Let's try 1-2, 1-2, 1-4. Oopsies, I gotta get hit. Okay, yeah, there is a situation that, like I said, Raven can mash through with this one option, and then if they're basically hitting at plus frames, going for like a frame trap, like a safe option, like 1-2-1, that would then allow Raven to do like a 1-2-4 out for wall splat. You know, you combo of your choice. So it was really, really kind of not oppressive in a lot of matchups, but in certain matchups, you had to kind of obey rules. Now, that's not to say, you know, Bryan doesn't have down for 2-on-13, but still, you have to be careful in certain ones. So, okay, Raven. So, running 3, animation facing away the opponent. Could block it at counterattack, facing forward if they missed. Okay, that's very confusing. I don't know what they're talking about. So it sounds like maybe running 3 doesn't properly give the meter, or probably doesn't eat the meter, maybe? So heat mode. Oh, okay, so that's it. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let me... Okay, so that full launched. What are they talking about? Okay, fix an issue despite the animation facing away with the opponent. Could still block. Oh, weird. So I guess they could block it back turn for some reason? Okay. And then fix an issue where the heat timer was not recovering upon hitting. Okay. I don't know what that means, so let's find out. Oh, okay, so he's in a block state. Oh, maybe not though. No, because yeah, she changed that a long time ago. Okay, maybe mid combo. Okay, we need full meter. Because yeah, this cost meter. Huh. Okay. I mean, they're calling it a buff. But that's weird because like running 3-4 is a launcher, right? Without it, it gets guaranteed shadow 1+2. But when you have heat on the table, it then becomes a launcher. But more importantly, for people who don't know, if you don't, whoopsies. Yeah, we're +7. +7 off shadow, so you know shadow back 2, shadow forward 4, shadow stand 4. I mean, you have quite a few options at that plus frame, so it's weird that they're saying that you are supposed to gain meter. I think that's an oversight. That's probably a bug. Okay, Reina. I'm not going to be the best Reina person here, unfortunately, but we'll take a look at her nonetheless. Like I mentioned, she has that same problem where you can cause her heat smash to like cross up. And then, because, you know, heat smashes kind of naturally move towards the target. Let's see if I can reproduce that. Yeah, so she's still advancing. Let's have it just blocked. Okay, in that case, I guess you span away. But when you whiff initially, it doesn't. So interesting. But yeah, like I said, it can cause some weird like cross-up situations. So clearly that's what they're fixing. Okay, so they're fixing her rage art too. That's important. Yeah, her rage art, I don't know the exact situation, But her Rage Art does have a propensity to completely whiff. So what happens is if you have like a long advancing attack, and let me just try to do, I don't know, let me try to do something. I'm not gonna, there's no shot I'm gonna reproduce this, but we'll give it a shot. If I looked online, if I did my homework, I could probably find these examples for you exactly, but we'll give this a shot. Oopsies. Okay, so yeah, it's too close. Yeah, we need some sort of like pushback. But basically what happens is kind of like what we had seen earlier with Dragunov. Any sort of like long range push away doesn't get properly absorbed. And instead of like the Rage Art hitting, you just get pushed out of the way and her hitbox is all sort of fucked up. So yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I don't have a great example to show you immediately, but they're fixing that, which is good. I mean, it really does feel bad when you go for something, like you go for a good read and you make the right read and it's like, oh, hey, they did something stupid. And then all of a sudden you just lose. Like, oh, okay. Okay, fixed a collision detection when the opponent position change. Okay, so evidently wall stand 1 can have some sort of weird cross up on it. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe some sort of situation where they're stuck in full crouch and then maybe the 3 misses. I don't know for a fact. I don't think I've ever seen that, so. Okay, during God Step, down forward 4-2. The second hit missed. Okay, so I think that's her Hell Sweep. So same thing with Reina. Yeah, if you can perform basically crouch dash with just down forward 3. So you can do down forward 3-2, like easy inputs, right? So I guess when you go into her Hell Sweep, so I guess the second hit will have some weird phantom tracking, but only out of this state. Like if you just do normal Hell Sweep, it doesn't work. But if you do this Hell Sweep, I guess they can't step the second hit or something, and that's unintended. So that's interesting. It's weird to see that like the down 4-3 stance and just a normal crouch dash are like 2 different entities for this character, which actually kind of does explain a lot. Okay, Heaven's Wrath 3 or Heaven's Wrath 4 on block. Modify the move to ensure it cannot be defended with an attack reversal. Okay, so let's see what are those. Okay, Heaven's Wrath 3. Oh, okay, it's a jumping attack, so you can't reverse jumping attack. So evidently you can reverse her Heaven's Wrath 3. So that makes sense. So, and then let's see, what's Heaven's Wrath 4 then? Oh, I think that's the overhead, right? Overhead into the shock. Oh, interesting. Huh. So on block, I don't understand that. Oh, okay, sorry. 3-4. It's the same move. Sorry. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, she's still airborne, so you can't reverse the second hit. So that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Like Heaven's Wrath 4 doesn't make any sense. Okay. Recovery frames were not properly with standards. Ooh, interesting. So evidently her throws are bugged. So she's kind of like she was Victor, and no one noticed. Okay, opponent's recovery frame. Reduce the recovery frame. Oh, so wait. That wouldn't be a nerf, right? That'd be a buff for her. Oh, recovery frames. Okay, so they just recover 3 frames quicker. And then I guess Stonehead is now 6 frames quicker, which is a lot, right? Plus 8 to plus 14. That's a big difference. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Shaheen down back 2-1. Same thing. I don't know if I'm going to reproduce this, but basically, when you're by the wall, okay, how do I not block all? Put him on standing. I don't want him to turn around the aim. Yeah, on certain axes, even though down back 2-1 is NC, like it doesn't actually hit them. There you go. There. So that was it right there. Yeah, on certain axes, even though it should be NC, like 14 frame, NC option, heat engager, to complement like back forward 2 options and stuff like that. So now properly, it's going to realign. It's not going to fuck up. So again, this whole patch has been like very much fixing those like high behaviors, just completely randomly whiffing. Okay, expanded the... Okay, the input's different. Okay, down 4, 3. It used to be down, down, forward, and now it's gone. So it's now just down 4, 3 plus 4. Okay, so they said... Okay, so I guess maybe he, like, during this animation, like, right before the active frame, he's, like, so low to the ground, maybe you couldn't even hit him. Kind of like, sort of like some sort of Xiaoyu AOP dodge, maybe. So yeah, the hitbox is worse. Or hurtbox is worse, so you can hit him probably more likely out. So rather than having maybe like a Dragon Punch option, it's now just properly hittable. So that's good. Out of curiosity, let me put on block all. I want to see how negative this is. That's what I thought. It didn't seem launch punishable when I played against Shaheen. Okay. Okay, interesting. So a nice little buff or fix the Shaheen and a fix the other way. Wait, was Steve on there? Oh, Steve is on there. I'm like... Okay, Steve. Same thing. I'm not a Steve player, so this is gonna be rough. Okay, adjust the tracking on the 7th hit. So I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I guess maybe the second hit sometimes could miss. Maybe some sort of like weird, similar axis problem. Oh wait, no, that's an... Huh? That's like a canned animation. Weird. Yeah, that says during heat. Oh, okay. So maybe they must mean, yeah, actually on block then. So let's try that one more time. I'm just curious. Okay, so maybe something weird happened. Or maybe on the tail end of the animation, maybe it's possible. Yeah, hard to say. But I see the problem. It leaves you in Lionheart. So you're stuck in animation. There's no way to cancel Lionheart except via PAB canceling, if I remember correctly. But supposedly it's super hard. Okay, ducking 1 plus 2. Okay, so I guess Masaji has some issue where it might possibly drop out. So it sounds like they're fixing Masaji. Okay. I'm not happy because Masaji already is really strong. Like, look at that. Minus 12. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially in this game. But okay, they're fixing it, so it must drop out sometimes. Victor down 1-1. So Victor down 1 is his low hitting option, basically low dagger. I guess maybe while he's in it, yeah, same thing. He ducks really low, but I personally haven't seen it get like not crushed properly. Like it makes sense when he crushes it, but maybe certain mids miss him during it. But at the same time, like look at that, it's 17. It's not like he's safe, right? Even the second hit, obviously, if it misses, it's launch punishable. But it's still, you know, still negative there. So okay, so they're fixing it so it doesn't properly, just randomly crush now. Oh, and then down back 4. I don't know how I'm going to reproduce this with a robot, but yeah, certain things happen when the opponent gets hit. I have to have him go to the right, but even then, he'll probably still be able to block it. But yeah, certain times, like you hit him and he shoots the wrong way. So even though you're positive, the shot will come out and then you're negative all of a sudden because of it's an attack throw, which is one of like Victor's problems. But yeah, they're fixing it so that it's not going to randomly screw you over anymore, which is good. So yeah, it's same thing. I wouldn't call this a buff because I mean, the attack itself, you know, I'm not trying to defend necessarily Victor here, but it's super launch punishable. So. The fact that you take all that risk and then sometimes the combo doesn't occur, you know. Okay, FC 1 plus 2, so that's a shoe shine. So I guess they're fixing it. Maybe it's, I don't know. There must be some sort of bug, but we couldn't reproduce it on any of the characters. But yeah, you do it too fast, you get the wrong attack. You have to time this input, but that's nothing new. And of course, if you do the wrong input, then you get that, which is the real problem with it. But still, it's still a time thing, you know, off of Perfumer as well. Maybe it's off Perfumer specifically they're talking about, because he can cancel faster, it seems like, off Perfumer. But that's also because he's canceling into FC, so technically for those frames, he's still in FC, so you're buffering or charging the crouch state already prior to the initiation there. So okay, and then yeah, so they're nerfing Perfumer, but same thing. I've not seen a high not win here. Like for instance, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just show you what I mean. But I'm gonna go ahead and have Steve just do a simple 1-1-2. And now I'm going to do wall stand 1+2 into Perfumer. Yeah, we still get hit. So I don't know what situation they're talking about, but if they're talking about like this frame where he's ducked in, I mean, okay, sure, you're gonna nerf that. I don't really understand that nerf, simply because, yeah, he doesn't have any trickery already, or he already gets hit. So whatever. Okay, Xiaoyu reversal. Adjusted opponent's facing direction be forward when parrying right kick. Okay, well, I definitely do not have the right character on the screen. Leroy. Yeah, I was gonna do Victor, but you can't do Victor. Victor's straight kick is a knee, so he can't reverse it by definition. So let's go ahead. Okay, he's on block all. I'm gonna punish, and I'm gonna do the I-13 down 4-4, I believe it is. Ah. Okay, so no longer do you double cross up. So you're left at plus and you also get to their back. That's nasty. Which then would, by definition, like set us up for like BT shenanigans, right? Oh yeah, and then we have like the BT 1+2. Wow, that's, oh my god. that's pretty nasty. Okay. That makes sense why they got rid of that. Okay, and fix issue where backturn opponent down 1 could make contact with their back, making it unblockable. Interesting. Cool. Oh, wow, that's it. Okay. I'm glad that was easy to reproduce. Yoshimitsu. Expanded hitbox to reduce a problem of it whiffing. I haven't seen this yet, but I guess similar to Reina, I guess this down forward 1+2 might possibly whiff. But yeah, I haven't seen that. I have seen the Reina whiff a ton. So this must be some sort of fringe case for Yoshimitsu then in that case. Okay, up back 1+2. Expanded hitbox where it would whiff. Okay, yeah, so when he's doing this attack, god dang it. When he's doing this attack, because you can kind of see it, he kind of takes a step back and you can't actually hit him during it, in my experience. That's also part of the problem. When, yeah, NSS and then now the current meta of like charge unblockable. I don't remember how to do it, but like that's currently one of the problems with Yoshi is, yeah, the fact that he's like hyper evasive for kind of no reason, and especially when you have such a key move like up back 1+2, which does have, you know, health regeneration properties on it. So like that's a big deal. The chip, of course, but yeah, the health regen is like the crazy part about him. So, makes sense. You can't have it be such a good trump card, especially because it's ground hitting too, so it's pretty good. Okay, up 3+4, Dragonfly. Fix it so floor break occurs on the final hit, rather during middle of the string. Huh. Ah, okay, so evidently that would break the floor, but at the same time, I mean, okay, isn't that just like a straight up buff to him? Yeah, that's a really big buff to have, just like not eating this initial hit, and then now instead you get like the up 3+4 unscaled on the floor. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of that change. Correct unnatural positioning when near a cornered opponent, causing awkward collision. Okay. So, Deathcopter. I didn't know what Deathcopter is, the new input. It used to be up 1+2, which is now grab. That makes sense. Otherwise, Shark Attack. Ah, look at that. We splat the wrong way, which is funny because I've seen Leo do that situation. Interesting. Okay, okay, Namco. Cool. Running 3 expanded hitbox downward. Interesting. So, I mean, in my experience, running 3 is already really strong. But now it has like a lower hitbox. I mean, I guess I could see the idea behind it because he's doing a jumping kick. Maybe certain attacks go under the slash kick, but I don't know. That kind of feels like a weird buff, especially because, of course, you can just enter into Dragonfly, right? Oh, interesting. Dragonfly 2 didn't launch there. Crouching 1+4. Standardize the controls with other characters. Isn't that his flash out of FC? Am I missing something? Huh? I mean, I'm able to instant cancel that. Okay, that time I couldn't, but like 80% of the time I could. Okay. I guess they're normalizing it, but I mean, think about it, right? If you're, as a human, you're actively the one hitting 1+4. You're not accidentally hitting duck jab, right? Okay, whatever. That doesn't make too much sense to me, but that's fine. Back turn 2. Certain inputs unintended. Oh, I don't even know how to even cancel this stance. I mean, I can do like 4-4-4. Okay, so evidently when you entered BT, it wouldn't always give you the correct back turn 2. I don't know, but that's fine. Okay, Dragonfly 3. Specific situations, anticipated tactics were not working as intended. Move status has been changed to treat it as a jump until landing. Allows for evasion. Okay, so evidently the Dragonfly 3 was not properly airborne. Although you see on the thing, it says he's airborne. So that doesn't, same thing. That doesn't make too much sense to me. So there must be some weird active frame that you can hit him and he's full standing. The only thing I can think of. But yeah, it doesn't make too much sense. Okay, Dragonfly 4. Getting hit in down state after conclusion of heat. Derivating from intended behavior. That was Dragonfly though, right? The only thing I can think of is there's those weird situations where you trade against heat engagers and it doesn't actually give you... Oh, actually, no, let's take a look. Okay, so we'll wait for the heat to expire. Oh, so I have to turn off heat. Player, not set. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, so it's still causing spin. So maybe they intended it. Oh, maybe it doesn't. No, it wall splatted though. Yeah, I'm clueless. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Dragonfly 4+2. Change behavior on block after second hit. They will now... Oh, okay. So they made it so this now is jailing string. The Dragonfly 4+2. So if you block the second hit, I guess you could technically mash out. I'm curious. Let's go ahead and try testing this. So I need to make it so he only gets hit by the second hit. No, man, that has so much range. Oh my god, that is a lot of range. Huh. Okay. Oh, you know what it is? They probably intended you to be able to duck that. That's probably what it is. Ah, look at that. He tried ducking, but he got hit because it was not actually jailing. So even though we couldn't sidestep, we could still duck. But even though it's a high, we got hit. Whoa. I did not know about that. Okay. Okay, good fix. That's not a nerf. That's a fix. I hate they're calling it a nerf. Yeah, I hate they're calling that a nerf. That's not a nerf. That's a fix, guys. You can call it what it is. Okay, Zafina is our last one.
Get ready for the next
Okay, so evidently she had the rage art bug. Same thing. That's not a buff. That's a fix. So yeah, if you hit active, like I guess same thing. You get pushed out of the way, and she couldn't actually rage art you, which is important, right? When you're -15, Furthermore, you're playing Zafina, so you don't actually have a 15-frame launcher either. So it's kind of a bummer. So they fix it. That's not, again, that's not a buff, that's a fix. Okay, reduce the amount of damage taken onto oneself. So kind of similar to June, whenever she does her attacks, she takes damage. So she makes her things safer, like for instance, rather than performing Scarecrow 2-2, she has Scarecrow 2-1, which is completely safe on block. So we'll go ahead and put him into block all. So Scarecrow 2-2, minus 10, Scarecrow 2-1, minus 6. But she does take damage when it does occur. So let me go ahead and get out of rage mode, re-enable it. But yeah, you can see the amount of damage that she's taken. So they're going out of their way to reduce that chip damage to self. So interesting. So my guess is because Zafina overall is kind of considered more of a weak character in this game, that they're probably more normalizing her with June, making her safer but taking less damage, whereas June is like really safe on her stuff. Zafina doesn't have that that much benefit to it. Hit during front. Okay, interesting. Okay, so even during combos, they're reducing the damage too, huh? Wow, look at that. Yeah, she takes hella damage. Interesting. Okay, I never noticed that. I haven't played too much Zafina in this game, but wow, that actually was a lot of damage. Oh my god. Interesting. Okay, I like that. That's a good buff. I would call that a buff. That's a good buff. Mantis down forward 1. Okay. Time reversal. Oh wow, look at that. She even takes damage during her reversal. That sucks. That sucks because, like, I mean, I'll go on a small rant here. That sucks that she takes damage during her reversal because Reina doesn't take damage during her Heaven's Wrath parry, even though she looks like she takes damage. So are you ever going to fix that, Namco? That's weird that Zafina got singled out for this nerf or that change in T8, but Reina dodged it. And even June dodged it, right? Because she regenerates health when she does it? Okay, whatever. Conversation for a different day. Reina's a little silly though. That's end of it. So okay, the patch comes out in a couple of hours. I'm gonna go ahead and try quickly editing this because I had to split into parts. Comments, questions, concerns, YouTube, Reddit, Twitch, Twitter. Feel free to hit me up. If there's anything else you want to see or any tournaments I might have missed, please let me know. Apart from that, I'll see you guys when Eddie drops later today. Later, guys.